What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we are going to be unboxing a new tool for the shop here. This is a tool that I am excited about, and it's kind of been a long time coming. I've been wanting one for a really long time, but I finally pulled the trigger on a TIG welder to have here at my home shop. So as you've probably seen in my previous videos, pretty much all the TIG welding that I have done on my YouTube channel has been at my work. I have been blessed to have a TIG welder that I can use on some personal projects here and there. The TIG welder that I have at work is a Miller Dynasty 350 water cooled. It's an older machine, 15 years old or so, but the Miller Dynasties are a super nice machine, and I will say I've been spoiled with DC, AC, AC balance, pulse, all water cooled, and really high amperage capabilities. So when I went out looking for one, I wanted one that was a little bit more on the affordable side than a Miller Dynasty 350, which is, I want to say they're like $10,000–$12,000 machines. Did not have the budget for that. So over the last couple of years, I've kind of been researching and looking at a couple different brands and trying to pick out the one that I wanted. I ended up going with an EVERLAST. The other brands that I looked at was Miller, Lincoln, ESOB. That was really the four that I was considering, but just comparing the four, the EVERLAST was definitely the best price point with all the features that I wanted. And I'm unsure of the ESOB's warranty, but I know EVERLAST had a 5-year warranty, whereas Lincoln and Miller, it was somewhere around the 2 to 3 year warranty. And a lot of the YouTubers that I have watched have used EVERLAST, and really, from what I've seen, had a really good reputation. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what we got, and we'll go ahead and unbox everything, lay it out on the table, and you know, hopefully put it all together and do first welds tonight. And guys, this video is not sponsored by EVERLAST. I did my research and chose this welder myself, and I paid for this welder with my own money, and I paid full price. All right, guys, so we got the welder all unpacked and everything that came with it. Overall satisfaction of the packaging, it was pretty good. The welder was nice and protected inside these big foam white things that were around it, and also around the outsides of the box. There was some thin, like 3/8 plywood, just to protect the sides. I will say there was no plywood on the top or the bottom, but overall that's better than no plywood. And I will say, I waited around for Christmas time to come around to order this thing, because I knew, I saw where last year they had ran a Christmas special where they discounted the machine a little bit, and then also threw in some upgraded components with the welder. So let me turn the camera around and we will look at everything that came with it. All right, so like I said, we got the EVERLAST PowerTIG 255EXT. Came with a nice machine cover. This was part of the Christmas deal that they ran. Coming over here, it came with 2 torches. So one is a style 9, which I suppose is just the air-cooled torch, And then it also came with a number 20 torch, which is a water-cooled torch. So one of the upgrades from the Christmas deal was, normally these are 12.5 feet long, but with the Christmas deal, these were upgraded to 25 feet long, which in my experience, especially welding with my Miller, it has I believe a 10-foot torch. And I mean, most of the time you have to have that welding machine like right up on top of what you're welding. Like if you're welding on a car or, you know, a boat or something, you got to have it right up on it just so you can reach. But the 25-footer, I have a 25-footer on the welder at work, and really you can just kind of leave the welder wherever you want. And that extra 12.5 feet, I mean, you can just move anywhere with it. And I don't know if this was part of the Christmas deal as well, or if this is normal, but the little finger switch on the torch, I was kind of excited to see that. I was planning on getting one of these, but I'm glad it came with it. But you know, there's a lot of times where you know, you're laying on your back or something, or in a funky position where you can't really or it's not as comfortable to use the foot pedal. So I am excited to try out this finger switch. I've never tried one before, but I will say I think this is one of the more, you know, just an on-off finger switch. I know there's somebody on YouTube channel is 6061, and he sells a pressure switch where you can actually, you know, make it work kind of like a foot pedal and control the amperage output. So yes, two 25-foot torches. Right now we don't have the machine water cooled. That is an upgrade that I do want to get for it one day, is get a water cooled unit, just so I can run those higher amperages, especially on that thicker aluminum, like really 1/4 inch and above. And standard with the torches, it looks like it comes with a small little pack of collets and end caps and nozzles. And that is nice where it has the long back cap and also the stubby back cap, because I have welded many things where a stubby back cap definitely comes in handy. Comes with a nice ground clamp. Also comes with a stick welding clamp. So another upgrade that came with the machine was the Nova foot pedal. I really don't know the difference between the standard one that comes with it and the Nova. I couldn't really find much information on their website, but maybe it's the grip tape. I don't know, because I want to say I've seen some pictures of a smooth faced one. But all right, moving on here, it comes with the regulator and our little hose, and then another cool thing that this welder comes with is a 220 to 110 adapter. I mean, all the time when I'm welding here at my house, I have it on 220, but my Miller is the same thing. It's a Miller auto set, 110 or 220, 230, whatever you want to call it. Whenever I'm welding here at the shop, I'm on 220, just because I have the plugs here. But there are several times where I've gone to a job site just to do some smaller low amperage welding, like tacking together, and that 110 comes in handy a good bit with that. So like I said, I don't know if I'll ever take this to a job, but never say never. So that'll be something nice to have around here, just in case. All right, so another thing that came with the Christmas deal that I am super excited about is this stubby gas lens kit. I do run a stubby gas lens at work, and just the way that the gas lens helps that shielding gas flow out of the torch, it just gives you a little bit better coverage. You know, you can go online and watch some videos of them doing like a slow-mo with some smoke on how the gas lens helps, and it is pretty cool. So looking at this kit, it does look like it comes with a few different size tungstens. I did just measure them. It comes with 2 16th inch and 2 3/32 inch tungstens, and this is 2% lanthanated tungsten, which is kind of like a good all-around tungsten on welding, you know, different materials, you know, where you're not having to switch back and forth. I mean, you can go from aluminum on AC and then switch right over to DC and weld mild steel, stainless. Can't really speak for tungsten, titanium. Never done any of that kind of welding. But looking at this, it looks like they got the different gas lenses. I think this is for like the size, shoot, is it 19 and 17 torch? And then they have the shorter one for the torch that we have, which is the number 9 and 20. They have cups from this is a standard number 4 cup, and then a gas lens number 5, all the way up to this massive 24-inch. These are the ceramic cups. And this side I'm actually pretty excited about is the clear Pyrex cup. I don't really know the advantages of the Pyrex over the ceramic. If you know, drop a comment down below. I've never really messed with these Pyrex cups, but they sure do look cool. I am super excited to have these larger diameter gas lens cups. At work, I normally run a number 8, which is right in between these two. This is a 12 and a 6. So I normally run a number 8 for about everything, but I know when you start getting into like some of that stainless, and I think titanium, you can run these larger gas lenses just to have, you know, a big stick out and a larger gas coverage, especially on stainless, to keep that weld from oxidizing on the back end. So I am super excited to have this at the ready, and we will definitely be using it. Moving on here, it also comes with a operational manual. I was thumbing through here, and I mean, it's pretty good information. Has a good table of contents. Basically talks you through of what to do when you first get the machine, and registering the machine, and if you have any warranty issues, just where to call. Looks like it's set up pretty well. And I was thumbing through here, you know, you got your safety warnings, got your specifications, all your parts that come in the box, some explanations of how to set up the machine and grind your tungsten. I mean, that's some good stuff right there. Here's how to set up your water-cooled or non-water-cooled torch, your stick. Here's some, I guess, setup guides on getting you set up on, you know, what amperage and flow rate to run on different thicknesses. And then a good explanation of the screen, the panel. And also, you know, a good description of what each feature is. You know, some tips on, you know, making a good weld. All your torch angles and everything. I mean, I don't know, it's pretty good stuff. I mean, it's not too much to swallow. And then also, this is pretty good too. Just a parts list on your torches, and all the part numbers for whenever you need to order new consumables or any replacement parts. So this will be good to probably put in a nice plastic bag to keep all the grinding dust off of it. And turn to it whenever I need it. All right, so now we are gonna probably try to find a home on my welding cart for the new TIG welder. I'll probably clean off all this junk on this shelf right here, plop the bad girl right there, and we'll try to go ahead and set it up and see if we can burn in some welds. All right, so we got everything set up. I wanted to put it down there, but man, it was like maybe an inch too tall to fit down there. So we had to move the MIG welder down there. Not the end of the world. I just can't flip the side lid all the way up anymore, but that's okay. We can live with it. But this thing is a pretty large unit. I'm sure if I ever get a water-cooled unit for this thing, I'll probably just go ahead and get a separate cart for it. But as for now, it'll live right there. We got everything rigged up to it. I'm gonna try out the finger switch first, but like, you know how I was saying about the 25 footer, like look how long that thing is. I mean, you can take that thing anywhere, and still reach with your machine sitting in one spot. I will say one complaint is the ground is kind of short. I guess this is about a 12 foot ground, so it is definitely not as long as the foot pedal. That's the foot pedal cord right there. It's super long as well. And then the torch leads are really long, but you know, we can always extend a ground clamp. So we got everything rigged up, got our argon bottle rigged up. And then we can also see right here, this is made in China. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and flip this thing on and check out the setup. Like Christmas tree. I will say this thing is probably gonna come in handy, because I know just from an environment of grinding and even just in my shop, it's pretty dusty. So just keeping all these buttons nice and clean will be really nice. So I don't know if you have noticed the bracelet I have been wearing the past couple of videos. On the bracelet, it has a down arrow, a cross, a tomb, an up arrow, and a down arrow. And these symbols are called the King's Witness. And this is basically just a group of symbols that depicts events that happened in Jesus's life, and a good way to witness Jesus Christ to other people and witness the gospel. So the down arrow means he came, the cross means he died, the tomb means he laid in the tomb for 3 days and was raised from the dead on the third day. The up arrow is him ascending to heaven, and the down arrow is he is coming back again one day. I kind of want to go over each one of these symbols the next couple of videos. So the down arrow means that God sent his only son to earth, and a good verse to go with that is John 1:14, and that reads, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth." Go get you one of these bracelets. Like I said, it's a great way to witness the gospel to somebody else. There we are, first TIG welds right there. We had a little bit of porosity. I didn't purge the line long enough, and then I had to crank it up to 150 amps because this is 179 or 3/16. So 80 was not cutting it, but pretty good. I mean, that finger switch is actually pretty nice. Let's do some more. that was foot pedal. I think I got a little bit of porosity going on over there. That's pretty nice. All right, let's jump over to the aluminum, see how it goes. All right, guys, fast forward a couple of days. So the other day I was having some trouble with the quality of the welds that I was trying to lay down. The steel was doing okay, but the aluminum was giving me a little bit of a fit, almost acting like I wasn't even welding with any gas. So like I said, the steel was doing okay, a little bit of like porosity popping at the beginning. So not terrible. That weld looks bad, but not too terrible on the steel. But when I jumped over to the aluminum, it was almost giving me like a dull finish, not too terrible. A little bit of pepper in the puddle over here, but when I started coming over here, when I started getting a little bit more into it, like it just started giving me a fit. And some of this was I was refreshing my memory on some of the settings, but the welds weren't terrible, but then started giving me like an absolute fit. I tried to do an outside corner joint and just absolutely couldn't. So I did a little bit of reading online, trying to figure out what the issue was, and I actually ran across an EVERLAST video. I think it was like aluminum welding tips or something, and they said one of the common problems to poor aluminum welds is possibly a contaminated bottle of argon. So I had my bottle swapped out today and did some welds, and they were actually much better. So I don't know if that was the main cause, but stuff was a lot better trying out some welds tonight. So just showing you some of those welds. So these were so the welds before. I hopped over here and laid down a nice weld. It did not give me any fits, but it still didn't have that shine. You almost can see like a sugary weld down in there. But coming over to this side, this one actually turned out decent. Not as shiny as I wanted to. Like there's still a little bit of sugar in the weld. Was successful with the outside corner joint. Not the quality that I wanted. I probably need to do a little bit of refreshing on my settings a little bit more, and then I patted a couple beads and they do not look bad, but still have that little bit of a sugary or a texture to the top of the weld, just not like a super shiny weld. Did another outside corner joint. Not terrible, but definitely could be better. Looking at the settings that we welded with, it's 125 aluminum, 1/8 inch aluminum. So I was running 150 amps just so I can ramp into it a little bit and then back off if needed. I did 120 hertz. I played around between 30% AC balance and 20% AC balance, but 30% is the most common. And then we had a 0-second downslope, 5 ending amps, 10-second post flow, 0.7 second start flow, startup amps 45, and then no upslope, and then 150 welding amps, and then we just had it on advanced square wave. I haven't really gotten into any of this, but the settings we ran today worked pretty well. So over time, we'll start to get into some of the other settings, but these that I ran tonight were mainly the ones I normally run at work, and just keep it on it all the time. But I know there will be some situations where I might need to dive into some of those other ones. And if you have an EVERLAST welder, or if you use an EVERLAST welder, drop a comment down below and let me know what welder you have and how you like it, and you know, if there's any advice you want to give me on running mine, I would love to hear it. All right, guys, that's going to end this video off here. I really appreciate y'all tuning in and watching. Hit that like button. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think of the welder. We're definitely going to have some projects upcoming that we're going to be using this thing. And subscribe if you are not already. And stay tuned with everything that we got coming. And again,